Hope you are refreshed and ready to soak in all the knowledge that is up for grabs. The exciting MSME Conclave CEO meet as part of our 16th Aluminium Conclave 2026, where we will be raising the tempo of the event even further. This brings together some of the finest minds in our ecosystem to reflect, challenge, and benchmark what is best in class in the Indian aluminium industries. Over the next session, we will be hearing candid perspectives, share hard-won lessons, and explore concrete ideas that can raise quality, productivity, and sustainability standards across our industry. On that note, let us move on to the MSME Conclave CEO meet. I now invite Mr. A. M. Praveen, National Council Member, IIF, to introduce our moderator for the day, Mr. N Prabakaran, Managing Director, Dietech India Pvt Ltd, to our august audience.
Good morning once again. It's an honor to introduce our moderator for the CEO meet, Mr. N Prabakaran. A graduate from GCT College of Engineering, Mr. Prabakaran began his professional journey at Union Motors Company in Chennai and later served at Vishaka Industries in Coimbatore and Sundaram Clayton Limited. With over 35 years of experience in the die casting field, he is recognized for his in-depth knowledge and visionary approach to the industry. In 1995, he founded Dietech India Pvt Ltd, an organization built on his core belief in systems and teamwork. Under his leadership, Dietech has pioneered advanced manufacturing techniques and high-tech equipment. Notably, Mr. Prabakaran introduced and implemented major process improvement, including single-minute exchange of die methodology, successfully implemented the cell concept in manufacturing, established a modern tool room in Sriperumbudur in 2011, which now spans over 1.6 acres and employs over 500 people. He spearheaded digital innovation through the development of customer portal for online die progress reviews, founded Auto Mold Base, an upcoming online design software designed for quick and error-free die design. Please join me in welcoming a moderator, a leader who continues to push the boundaries of the technology and support in the die casting industry. Prabhakar sir, the stage is yours.
Good morning to everybody. Thanks for the opportunity given by the IIF as a moderator. Probably you should be more useful to the audience. Last year, I think Mr. Vijay made, wholehearted, sharing the experience. That is why this program was well appreciated by the audience in the last year. Probably we will make it today also by our panel group. First, I want to invite Mr. Govindarajan. It's a privilege to introduce our next panelist, M Govindarajan, a veteran leader with over 42 years of experience in the automotive and the manufacturing sectors. Mr. Govindarajan is currently serves as Executive Director and the CEO of India Piston Ltd, where he leads strategic growth and operational transformations. His distinguished career includes diverse industry leadership, 11 years at India Piston Ltd, 25 years in IP Rings, and 6 years in Bharat Electronics. Operational excellence. He is seasoned expert in TQM, TPM, and lean manufacturing. Has been instrumental in elevating productivity and quality standards recognized by the global OEMs. Academic foundation, he holds BE in Mechanical Engineering from the College of Engineering, Guindy. A PGDBA from LIBA and an MS in Technological Operations from BITS Planning. Global recognition under his leadership, his organization have earned prestigious awards, including the Frost and Sullivan IMEA Super Platinum Award and the AACMA Quality and Productivity Award. Industry advocacy, he is a National Council member of the Indian Institute of Foundrymen and has served as the Chairman of IIF and Vice Chairman of National Institute of Quality and Reliability. With extensive international experience spanning Japan, Korea, Europe and Russia, he brings truly global perspective to your panel today. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Govindarajan. Mr. Govindarajan.
All the best.
It's a pleasure to introduce our next panelist for this CEO meet, Mr. K. Karthikeyan, the current CEO of Tron Autoparts Limited, casting division. Mr. Karthikeyan is a seasoned manufacturing leader. Please note it down. The Karthikeyan is a seasoned manufacturing leader, which he is going to talk about it more on that, with more than 30 years of extensive experience across both aluminum and cast iron products domains. His career is marked by high-level leadership and successful large-scale industrial products. Diverse leadership background, he has served as a senior roles including CEO and COO within international organizations, multinational organizations. Anglometric experience, he previously held the position of General Manager within Amalgamation Group, one of the India's premier light engineering conglomerates. What I am thinking? Conglomerates. Okay. Conglomerate. Project excellence. He has successfully superintended 2 greenfield and 1 brownfield projects, earning a reputation for delivering business turnarounds through disciplined resources optimization and strategic HR and IR practices. Academic and specialized training. He holds a Bachelor of Engineering from the College of Engineering, Guindy, and an MBA in Finance from Anna University. Additionally, he completed specialized training in IR and HR management under AOTS program in Japan. A lifelong learner, beyond his professional accolades, he is deeply passionate about expanding his knowledge, having explored diverse fields such as law, naturopathy, and astronomy. Mr. Karthikeyan's approach to leadership effectively blends operational excellence with the integration of modern technologies to drive sustainable business growth. Please join me in welcoming K S Karthikeyan. Now it is a pleasure to introduce the next panelist from CEO Meet, Mr. Vijay Sivalingam, the Director of Operation at Dolphin Die Casting Pvt Ltd. Within 21 years of experience in pressure die casting technology, Mr. Sivalingam is a leader who combines deep technical expertise with a strategic vision, strategic leadership. He oversees 3 state-of-the-art facilities in Bangalore, managing a comprehensive process that includes an in-house tool room, die casting, machining, and powder coating. Global impact. Under his direction, 60% of the company's total sales are now attributed to exports. He also leads the firm to earn a silver medal in EcoVadis Business Sustainability Ratings, placing it in top 26 associate company worldwide. Once again repeating that, he also led the firm to earn a silver medal in EcoVadis Business Sustainability Ratings, which he is going to talk about more on that. Academic and research background. He holds a Bachelor of Engineering from BMS College of Engineering and a Master of Science from the Ohio State University, where his research die casting defects lead to technical paper presented to the North American Die Casting Society, NATCA. Diverse professional journey. His career includes pivotal roles in USA at organizations such as Ford, GM, and Stryker corporations, where they participate in a Stryker leadership program. Please join me in welcoming a leader committed to innovation and manufacturing excellence, Mr. Vijay Sivalingam. It is a privilege to introduce our next panelist for the CEO meet, Dinesh Arjun, the co-founder of CEO of Raptee HV. A visionary leader in the electric vehicle EV space, Dinesh has a distinguished academic and professional background that has paved the way of groundbreaking innovations in the Indian automotive industry. Academic excellence, He holds a Bachelor of Engineering in Production Engineering from MIT, Chennai, and a Master's Science of Industrial Engineering from Purdue University. Global expertise. Before founding Raptee, Dinesh gained invaluable experience in program management and new product introduction, NIP, the NPA at Tesla. Experimental spirit, the entrepreneurial spirit. He is a serial founder having established dyno motorcycles and broaching India before embarking his mission with Raptee. Under his leadership, Raptee has pioneered the concept of high voltage electric two-wheelers in India. Dinesh's vision was to move beyond conventional technology to create a vehicle that is not only environmentally beneficial but also a premium upgrade and a symbol of status for the Indian customer. Please join me in welcoming leader who is refining the future of transportation, Mr. Dinesh. Once again, we will be making you to more useful this panel discussion through our panel people. Please have attention on that. And then at the end of the session, probably we will open a questionnaire section also to the panel people so that you can clarify to your requirement. Okay, first I will start with Mr. Govindarajan, who is a senior in die casting. He is today, everybody is saying that there is a lot of opportunity in aluminum castings. Today, everybody is expecting the aluminum is getting, lot of potentials, and even light vehicles is forcing us to go for aluminum. Then still there will be one more chance of magnesium. All are lightweighting alloys. But today, what I am going, what are all the, generally what will be the future actually? Today we know there is a boom is there in the automobile, the demand of die casting is also there, a very lot. Even your small scale industry is also having a lot of demand on castings, and they started working on that with a lot of other difficulties. That is always there. As an entrepreneur probably will have to cross all these things. So what you think the future of the aluminum, how it will be there? And is there any diversification from the aluminum to any other material?
Thank you, Mr. Prabhakar. So, being a first speaker is always very difficult to break the ice. Anyway, I will tell you how the world is moving. See, the global GDP is nearly 114 trillion. In that, the aluminum is nearly 1 to 1.5%. It's a huge 1 to 1.5% of the whole GDP is big thing. And what you are saying, the aluminum is actually, we get where from aluminum. Do you know which places the ore is there? Just to mention only, Guinea, Australia, Vietnam, Indonesia and Brazil. These are the 5 countries which are holding major resource. And we get all the bauxites being converted to aluminum in this. And when iron ore is converted, that is not iron ore, sorry, aluminum ore, the value addition is 16 times. That is when you finally sell the product. And one specialty of this aluminum is, so you can recycle it many times. There's no end to it. And nowadays more and more recycled aluminum is used in any industry, at least 40%, 50% and all. When you use the recycled aluminum, the energy conservation is very high. So we have to add little bit of fresh aluminum and then using it. So the long-term outlook is, see, it is we are all in die casting industry. We think about only mostly automobile sides, but there are so many other things. I have statistics that die casting is only 30% or something. More than that, the extrusion industry is there, where aluminum is used in many forms. In every construction industry, you go to solar panels, the base is aluminum. You go to any buildings, nowadays they don't use wood, because they are not supposed to use the wood. And corrosion resistance, rust, no rust and all. So aluminum is used. Go to food industry, the aluminum foils are there. So, EVs and aerospace, I need not say, Mr. Dinesh will touch upon it. Then coming to India, there are 4 industries which are doing this conversion, that is from the bauxite and all, Andalco, Nalco, Vedanta, and newly one person is coming, that is AMG Mitsui. He is starting with 1 million tons. The highest is Vedanta, which is having 3 million tons. And if you take, say, 100 or 120 million we are doing all over the world, who is the largest manufacturer is China. China is making 45 million tons. The supply versus demand is now, supply is less and demand is more. That is why you are seeing a huge price increase in the market now. That is not the only reason. The one more reason is Trump has put a tariff on February 9th of nearly 25%. First he was contemplating 20 or 50, then he made it 25%. So all the imports to US has increased the price. And India is importing nearly 2 million tons of scrap, and the import tax is nearly 2.5%. So India will be going to nearly 8 million tons. So recycling uses only 85% of the energy compared to other things. So globally the aluminum usage will increase. In fact, I have one presentation I will show you. Do you know, anybody can guess, today the aluminum price is say $3,300 a ton.
I thought of it asking that the price is getting, aluminum price is going up. What is the reason?
No,
how it will be the scenario in future?
It will moderate definitely, because now the shortage because of war and this fellow Trump has put some taxes and all. But once the production increases, it will come down. But do you know what is the highest price of aluminum in this world?
Probably in India.
No, I'm telling you. No, you're talking about today's world. I'm talking about the highest price. It has gone up to $30,000 a ton. Do you know when? Anbu, you are shaking your head. When? Yes, it was costlier than gold. In fact, in 1895, when aluminum was found, so the production cost was very high. So the cost was very high. That is $30,000 per metric ton, compared to $2,000 or $3,000 per metric ton today. So at those days, the nobles used to have their food in aluminum, and all other fellows, that is the chiefs and other things, will be having in gold. In fact, I have a photo of it also. So that is the case. But because when the supply increases, actually one engineer has found the methodology to manufacture easily. So the idea is in any world, when you find out a methodology by which you can satisfy the needs of the people with a lower cost, automatically it booms. Like what Dinesh has told. See, everybody wants a motorbike, but motorbike is not having that power. So he found out that need. So now without any choice, they were using scooter. He has given a motorcycle with a higher power. Maybe he didn't mention about that 0 to 80 kilometers in what time you will achieve in that. I will ask him that question during his talk. He can talk. So the need, the people's need, when you are able to touch on that, the market is potential. That is what I'm saying. So people's need to be touched upon, and you should be able to give a product which is satisfying their needs at a lower cost.
Okay, one more question. How do you feel that self-sufficient on aluminum manufacturing? Do you think that India will reach that level?
As of now, it doesn't look like that. In fact, I will say you one more thing, if you understand. See, if you take China, Korea, Germany, they are using 35 kg aluminum per person. Do you know how much Indians are using? 3.9 kg is right. So we are only 1/10 we are using. So the potential in India for usage is very high. You have to think like this. See, when in automobile market we talk how many cars per 1,000 people. In US and all, it is 500 cars approximately. Now it is maybe more, I'm telling you old data. 500 cars per 1,000 people. You know, in India, how much it is? I think 17 or 20. So, think the potential. So, that is how the world sees the potential. That's why every car market, fellow car manufacturer comes here. Because they see a potential. When the purchasing power increases, it will be exponential. So, you think like this.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your... Next, we will go to Mr. Karthikeyan. So, as you know, today, the scenario is, one side the Zoom is there for the requirement of castings. At the same time, the geopolitics is making us a very big different scenario. So at this time, every entrepreneur of die casting probably facing a problem of increase in material price and as well as the fuel and whatnot, everything. So because of the war and other geopolitical issues, how die casting industry can survive, or what I can say, how we have to manage the situation, how you are doing that in your industry?
Good afternoon. Hello. Yeah. Good afternoon. Vanakkam. Before starting this his questions, the potential of aluminum business is very high in India now. As mentioned by Mr. Govindarajan, is our per capita is only 3.5. Now it may rise to within 4 years. It should rise to near about 20, like that they are expecting on this. So now we are consuming near about 40 lakhs of tons in a year. Now it will go to 90-95 tons in 4 years. Then if we are seeing that opportunities, India is having wonderful opportunity to grow. But unfortunately, we have our own challenges with our present scenario. Basically, if we are seeing the challenges, if we are seeing in the one word, if we are seeing that in one word, that ends with only the administration issue, in my view. Because if we are split into the manufacturing section, machine capability and other things as decided by machine builders, and die and all the things, expert is there, they will take care of that. And some extension of other raw material and that quality and all, the suppliers is taking care of that. What we are doing in our factory, it is a $1 million question, that how we are going to be competitive within our factory. So then if you are seeing that, basic thing is we are responsible for our employee as well as our customer. That is the major things. If you are seeing your employee is stress-free operation, if your employee is there, then the company is growing. If you are seeing that any employee stressless and no strain like that, if they are working under you, if you are seeing that, then the company is growing. And the same way, if you are walk around your factory, if your boss, if your subordinate is doing your job along with his job, then the company is growing. If you are doing your subordinate job, then the company is going down. You can easily identify that your company is growing or going down. So we don't have the right people at the right place. Each company will have their own scenario of right people and things. For corporate people, it will be entirely different. The right people is the category and their caliper is entirely different. For SME, the caliper is entirely different. So we cannot compare with all the things, and we cannot தமிழில் சொல்கிற மாதிரி சூடு போட்டுக்கூடாது, புளியை பார்த்து போன சூட்டுக்கு போட்டுக்கிற மாதிரி படிக்கக்கூடாது. So then every companies, every factory is having their own strategy to operate on the IR and HR. That is the most important, that we are only controlling our production. The process is almost fixed for these aluminum industries, and process is established by a very good engineers and R&D peoples. That only we are copying it. We are not creating any new process and all that. Whatever may be for the in line with the consumables or machines, whatever may be the some expert is supporting you. So you are not doing anything on this. You are just copying on all our, we are copying on all of our things with our own people. Then what we are doing in the factory. So all the people are supporting us, machine, raw material and other consumables, other technologies and process, everything is controlled by our own people with, they are supporting us. Then what we have to do? Where we are missing it? Where we are facing the challenges? Then the only answer is administration. How we are admin the company. At 360 degree you have to think and you have to act. That what, if somebody is doing that, the company will definitely grow because the opportunity is there. At worst case, the EBITDA level of aluminum product, aluminum component should be 15% on that. It is possible and customer also giving the same price. Very good price they are giving it. Where we are losing? One is competition within ourselves and we are reducing our own cost and supplying to the customer. That we should not do that. The thing is, only the right price you have to agree. Then everything will be. Customer is ready to give the price. But in front, we are going and reducing our price and to get the orders and all that. That we have to avoid. We have to have some standard on our own conclave and do the same thing on that. The challenge is only to manage the people and manage the right people on the right place. That is the most important. You have to see that employee satisfaction is the most important in the manufacturing industries. That we are almost we are failing. Every day, every time, our employee will be in tension and all the things. See, any employee, in my view, only 3 to 4 hours only their job is there. Beyond that, there is no job to anybody. So then, within 4 hours, if we can complete, we are only creating a lot of unnecessary issues, unnecessary work and all that. We are ensure that you will be tension for 8, 9 hours, 10 hours, even in the house also. That is the most challenges what we have to see it in our things. Obviously, whatever the things on investment happened on that, capacity what is that? Investment versus capacity versus real performance and schedule or performance, then what is the profit? This scenario we have to see every month and we have to see, ensure that this is in line with our business. If you are not considering on every month on this, you will lose on some track on every challenges. So your day-to-day pressure and day-to-day firefighting, that should, even for the up to manager level, it should not be there. And unfortunately, most of our industries, up to CEO, up to owners, they have all are in day-to-day pressure and day-to-day things. That is the first challenge. We have to ensure that we have to 90% only we have to load on our capacity. Beyond that, we should not load. And see, if our product is getting near about 2 to 3 months to develop on that. We can get the machine or we can get the line within 3 months. Nowadays, everything is in line with whatever we are requirement on that. So this is what is the major what we have to do it on. Only how to control in our own this. We need not worry about the machine technology and bigger technology and all things are available in front of us. All the people will come and help us. So we have to choose that. Depends upon our company. We should not choose for the corporate people what they are doing it. We should not do it for us. Same way, employees also like that. We should not keep it as a bigger people with us, and we should not keep it that we are not able to do that like that. The thing is only how to optimize your resource. Your resource is on first machine. What machine we have to buy it. Second most important is manpower. That resource, if we are controlling on that, this will be definitely we will success on that. The opportunity is very high on this. We can challenge the scenario that if we are giving now a plant and within 4 years, if we want 3 times, 4 times, we can do that. The only thing is on focus on what we have to do. Top 5 challenges we have to take, and we have to conclude that.
Thank you, sir. One more question. As you are in the medium scale industry, the cost of the product today, the cost of expenditure, what I am saying, is getting increased after the past 3 or 4 months. How you are managing the things with the customer?
See, customer is always not, they will not give the much increase on the price. But the customer can increase, they are tallying this 50%, 60% of our raw material price, they are adjusting. Forget about this 1 or 2 months. So it is a big issue, and we are fighting even for some. My 60% of customer, they already given the bill above the raw material price now. If it is a 370, they are giving 380. 60-70% of customers. So customer is ready to support us, but how we are going to capitalize on that? So 60% of raw material will be taken care of customer. Only our things is on 40%. That to 15% we have to keep it for our profit and EBITDA level. So you have to control only the 20% of the things. No, we don't have much things on that. 20% is on consumables, how we are utilizing the capacity of the plant, and monitoring every time on individual expenditures. That is the most important what I have seen. My experience within a 6 month, I have near about 7% EBITDA also I raised it. With focusing on expenditures, including labors and other. If you are making your employees on free and stress free, they will create definitely on increase on our profit. One example has happened within a 6 month. We have reduced from 600 people to 440 people. But all the people are happy, and they are working with very happily and without stress. The thing is, more people also will spoil the show. And more, see, for unnecessary thing, we cannot keep people on that. No. It is only one company may have a CFO of 60,000 rupees. That may be enough. So corporate may have 3 lakhs rupees with a CFO. That is different. So the thing is, what we have to do, what is our real role and the things. If you are seeing the employee, the capability of the employee may be high. You are given the responsibility to him very less. And also you are given their salary is very less. Then understand the capability of the employee, then we can reduce 30% of the people also with a good margin. That is one of the things. And consumables, no other choice. Whatever the supplier given the data, if you are not achieve that, then it is our inefficiency, or you have to challenge with the supplier. No, this has happened. Whatever we are followed. Supplier also come and stand in our company, and they will ensure that their product is valid. So that's what I am doing it.
So do you think that today customer is listening that the whatever that happened in the price increase, do you average all the customers, whether they are listening and then helping to the industries? Do you have that type of
yeah, of course,
experience?
But I cannot mention in customers' names on here. But 70% of the customers are they are hearing us.
There is the representation has been taken by them.
Yeah, the thing is, cordial relationship you should have with the customer, and we have to give the more confidence to the customer on many other things. Whatever may be a performance on delivery, and see that the stress-free operation. Why I am again I am putting a pressure on them. If it is a stress-free operation, no delivery failure, no major quality complaints, then automatically it will be reflected on the customers. And whatever the customer, if you are representing with the customer, they are turning and they are doing the things on this. Maybe for the corporate and other people, it is more difficult to get the prices increase on that. For like our small scale industries or medium scale industry, below medium scale country, it is easy to get the price increase on that. Because
as per your experience, the customers started listening
yes,
the pain of the
sure,
small scale industry.
Because they choose us because of the to give the leverage from the corporate to us. for the small scale and industrial. The difference may be with a 20% with the corporate company to us. So that 20% leverage, we may get 10% also with our performance. That's what I feel.
Thank you, sir. Thanks a lot for your comment. And the next come to Dinesh. I think he's a younger entrepreneur. Came up with, I could able to see one difference, Dinesh. We also came as an entrepreneur, probably before 40. So, எங்களுக்கு உங்களுக்கு என்ன டிஃப்ரென்ஸ்னால் நாங்கள் வந்து மேனுஃபேக்சரிங்கில் இறங்கணும். இது ஒன்லி ஃபார் ஆடியன்ஸ் ஆல்சோ ஐம் புட்டிங் திஸ். ஸோ நாங்கள் மேனுஃபேக்சரிங்கில் இறங்கணும். அண்ட் தென் ப்ராப்ளி மை எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் இஸ் டிஃப்ரெண்ட் ஆக்சுவலி. We also 3 or 4 graduates joined. I am talking about 1783 we started. 4 graduates joined. And the 2 of them are technical and other are supporters. And then started a die casting facility. Got ruined totally. Because of the no support from government. For information I am telling. We ruined because of the loan not sanctioned. They want a collateral which we don't have. Even this project was recognized by the Guindy, or professor, Guindy Engineering College professor was recognized, and he recommended one bank, went into that, waited for more than 1 week, made a basic infrastructure, got ruined totally. This is what happened in my life. Then I came out and then went into jobbing, and then once again I started in 1995. But I could able to see from his, probably he has not started manufacturing, he started a product. But he started more than 7 years back, 8 years back. Please understand, he started 8 years back, bringing the product after 8 years. So how the plan was made? We went into ruin there, but because our planning is wrong. That's what I could able to see. What I could able to learn from him, he started a product and waiting for the product success up to 8 years and then brought the product to the market. So that type of, I am really appreciating the way in which you are planning and not bringing the product in a different. So you waited for 8 years and tested well and then making the finance very good, gathering the finance and everything. That type of nature has to be even taught to our people or our younger generations, how to do the product or anything, any entrepreneur, how to came out and all that. Probably you are the best example for, as far as I am concerned about it. Okay, now Dinesh, what I am saying that now as I told you though, we are all not supported by the by government at that time because of asking for a collateral or bank, they are all talking about it. So how you are experienced with the government or any financial institution, how you could be able to make the finance well sound to take up your project further? Your experience.
No, thank you, sir. Sir, again, first point before I kind of answer this, is this something that I think at Raptee we've kind of really figured out well. But before I kind of talk about what we've done, I think there's a couple of disclaimers, right? One, obviously you said 1983. That was 12 years before I was born. So it's a different world that we are living in today. Again, 10 years, 10 varsham itself is a big deal. Now we're talking about 50 years of difference, right? So one, we are living in a very different world. Second, again, sir, you've all come from like various different like experiences. So whatever I'm going to say is only possibly what I think I've addressed and whatever, but it's just that the industry itself is evolved. But I think the key differentiator for me worked was the narrative of what we're doing. How are we talking about what we are achieving? இதனால இது நான் சொல்கிறேன் அப்படின்னா, again, my dad was an academician, mom was also automotive, but she went into software. But I grew up with my mom was working in TNEB. She got the job offer the day I was born. So I spent less than 2 months with my mom and dad. Both of them were working. I grew up with a grandfather. Grandfather was a shop floor operator at Lucas TVS. Essentially, he was a broaching machine operator. So எனக்கு மிஷினிங் ப்ரொடக்ஷன் பிஸ்னஸ் எல்லாம் சொல்லி கொடுத்தது எங்கள் தாத்தா தான். எங்கள் தாத்தா எங்கள் ஃபேமிலியில் கேட்டிங்கன்னா ஃபஸ்ட்டு வந்து கனரா பேங்க் SME பிரான்ச்சில் பேங்க் அக்கௌண்ட் ஓப்பன் பண்ணுறதே ஒரு பெரிய விஷயம்டா அப்படின்னா. இட் இஸ் லைக் ஒரு நான் வந்து ஒரு பேங்க் அக்கௌண்ட் ஓப்பன் பண்ணுறேன்னா, should it be that I go and stand in line at the bank or the bank come here? I think the entire narrative of how we've operated is different. Also there were different constraints. அப்போ வந்து இத்தனை ப்ரைவேட் பேங்க் கிடையாது, நிறைய இஷ்யூ இருந்தது. But that is the narrative. And but unfortunately today, even when my mom or dad or my uncles go into getting a loan, that's how it is looked at. My first venture during the introduction was Broaching India ஒரு கம்பெனி ஆரம்பிச்சேன். I was just doing broaching process. எங்கள் தாத்தாவோட ஹெல்ப் வச்சு ஒரு ரீஃபர்பிஷ் மிஷின் சொல்லி அந்த பிஸ்னஸில் கொடுக்காத லஞ்சம் கிடையாது, லஞ்சம் கொடுக்காம லைசன்ஸ் வாங்கினது கிடையாது, குவாலிட்டி டிபார்ட்மெண்ட்டு சப்ளையருக்கு கஸ்டமர்கிட்ட குவாலிட்டி டிபார்ட்மெண்ட்டில் கொடுக்காத கட் கிடையாது, எல்லாமே இருந்தது. I did only about 1 crore in revenue. Second business was into automotive retail. I wanted to see there. I did not get any help from anybody in my family. I started my second business. அங்கே வந்து எக்ஸப்ட் ஃபார் கவர்மெண்ட் வேறு யாருக்கும் லஞ்சம் கொடுக்கக்கூடாது அப்படின்ற ஒரு பாயிண்ட் ஆஃப் வியூவில் ஆரம்பிச்சு. ஸோ தட் கேம். ஸோ தட் வாஸ் த செகண்ட் ஸ்டெப்.
So you experienced that this is also a big hurdle and you started working.
No, so இல்லை பிக் ஹர்டில். அதான் the point is it wasn't a hurdle. It was அது வரைக்கும் வந்து லஞ்சம் கொடுத்தா மட்டும்தான் அந்த பிஸ்னஸ் பண்ண முடியும்.
ஒரு எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் ஐ வாண்ட் டு ஷேர் இன் மை எங்கள் 2 கிராஜுவேட் இருந்தோம் நாங்கள் 2 பேர். ஒருத்தர் வந்து லஞ்சமே கொடுக்கக்கூடாதுன்ட்டார். அவர் பேசிக் பிரின்சிபல். எனக்கு வந்து ஃப்ளெக்சிபிள் வாட் எவர் ஐ எம் டூயிங். இதனால் என்ன ப்ராப்ளம் நடந்தது அப்படின்னா, என்னால் ஒரு டிஎன்ஜிஎஸ்சி நம்பர் வாங்கவே முடியல அட் தட் டைம் ஃபார் இன்ஃபர்மேஷன். ஐ எம் டாக்கிங் அபவுட் 80s, 83, 84. I could not able to get the TNGS number since he didn't want to give a bribe. So இது மாதிரிலாம் ஒரு எக்ஸ்பீரியன்ஸ் வந்து we had when we are, since you are also crossing there.
இல்லை சார், நான் ஒரு எக்ஸாம்பிள் நான் அதுதான் சார். தட் இஸ் த நரேட்டிவ் தட் ஐ வாண்ட் டு சேஞ்ச். பாயிண்ட் இஸ், நான் எதுக்கு கொடுத்தேன்னா எங்கள் வீட்டில் வந்து நீ கொடுக்காம பண்ண முடியாதுன்னு சொன்னாங்க. கஸ்டமராக இருந்தாலும் காசு கொடுத்தாங்கனோ, இங்கே இருந்தாலும் காசு கொடுத்தாங்க, இல்லாட்டி ஒரு நாள் you will not be able to move forward சொன்னாங்க. சேம் திங் I was able to reduce. Second, I took up a ரொம்ப ஓப்பனாக சொல்கிறேன், எப்படி வெரி ஆனஸ்ட், I took up a Royal Enfield dealership. They said with my family, இல்லைடா நாங்களாம் நிறைய ட்ரை பண்ணியிருக்கோம், நீ ஒரு கட்டிங் கொடுக்காம எதுவுமே நடக்காது. நான் செட் எனக்கு அது கிடைச்சா நல்லது, கிடைக்கலன்னா I have nothing to lose. It's not like I'm a big family. So we started. With Raptee, I wanted to change the narrative even further. இது வரைக்கும் நம்மளால் வரைஞ்சிருக்கு, எதுக்கு கொடுக்கணும் அப்படின்றத விட what if we make them pay for us? Today I'll give you a context. நான் எதுக்கு இவ்வளோ காக்கையாக சொல்கிறேன்னா, சார் டுடே we have TIDCO, which is Tamil Nadu Investment Development Corporation, which has given us an allocation of 40 acres in Cheyyar to expand. We have 39% subsidies on everything, any and every capex that we invest in our factory, including the rent that I am paying for my factory, which means 40% of the rent that I am paying for the factory.
It is from TIDCO.
It is coming from TIDCO. I mean, that is coming from guidance and the organization. But TIDCO, Sipcot has given us 40 acres in Cheyyar. Then we have got TIDCO has given us 25 crores in equity. This is point number 1. Let's put all of this bucket into R&D. Adanala vandadhu. Today we work with Indian Overseas Bank. I have a limit of 10 crores today. Before making 1 rupee of revenue, without any collateral, at 8% interest. This was Indian Overseas Bank coming behind us and saying 10 கோடி வச்சுக்கோங்க without any collateral. Right? This is again, நான் வந்து ஒரு பெருமைக்காக சொல்ல, it is possible today. இதே IOBக்கு நான் எங்கள் அம்மா அப்பாவோட போயிருந்தேன்னா, நான் எங்கள் அம்மா அப்பா வந்து இந்த பேங்க்கில் ஓப்பன் பண்ணுறான், இந்த மேனேஜர் கிட்ட பேசு, இவனுக்கு வந்து ஒரு ஐஃபோன் வாங்கி கொடுன்னு சொல்லியிருப்பாங்க. ரொம்ப ஓப்பனாக ட்ரான்ஸ்பரான பேசுகிறேன். பட் தட் இஸ் வாட் த கான்செப்ட். ஐ திங்க் இட்ஸ் ஆல் அபவுட் நரேட்டிவ். நிச்சயமாக பண்ண முடியும். பட் அவங்களுக்கு என்ன பிக்சர்? இன்றைக்கி வந்து அன்பு செல்வன் சார் சொல்கிறேன் இல்லைங்களா, we've been able to kind of create a brand around Raptee and say this is a flagship startup for Tamil Nadu. If we can spin that story around any and every business that we create, whatever you guys are doing is phenomenal. நீங்கள் சொன்ன மாதிரி aluminum is, the potential for aluminum is huge. And all of these MSMEs are the ones that are going to uplift the country. Can we build on that narrative and say that every single company that is, doing castings here is the reason that Tamil Nadu is going to be reach the 1 trillion economy? If we can spend that, then every bank in Chennai should come and invest, even without asking collateral or even without questioning. So that is, I think, the key item. So one side equity, another side debt. On the other side, we've also even got grants again, right? So across the way, I can be very honest, not a single person I've given anything under the table, but எனக்கு என்னன்னா நான் கொடுத்துருந்தா இதோ இந்த அளவுக்கு வந்திருக்காது. The narrative was flipped. இன்னைக்கு வந்து I am the person that you have to serve. It's not the other way around. In fact, there are banks that are now fighting. See, we can't service the loan. அதனால நான் காசு வாங்குறேன். லைக் நான் இன்னைக்கு 30 கோடி யாராவது கொடுத்தாங்கன்னா என்னால் திருப்பி பே பண்ண முடியாது. ஸோ அதனால் நான் வாங்கலை. But there are people who are pushing at us. Why? What have we done? We've done nothing. You have all done so much revenue, so much profitability. You're talking about EBITDA and all. எனக்கு நான் இது வரைக்கும் ரெவன்யூவே இப்போ தான் ஆரம்பிச்சிருக்கேன் ஃபெப்ரவரியில். It is only purely narrative, and I think that is what the focus needs to be.
Future potential.
Exactly. Future potential is யாரா சொல்லணும் இல்லையா சார்? சார் எனக்கு future potential இருக்குன்னா all of the companies here also have future potential. For me it might look fancy.
Probably, yeah, okay. There will be a level difference will be there. Potential is there.
No, level difference means sir, நீங்க probably will make a lot more revenue. I'll be very honest. It is only நாங்க வந்து ஒரு finished product கொடுக்கிறோம். நீங்க வந்து it is a different product. அவ்வளவுதான். But today Bosch is bigger than most OEMs. A tier 1 supplier can be a lot bigger than most OEMs. So doesn't mean an OEM is bigger or whatever. So I think it's very important about narrative. And because of that we've been able to enter. So இன்னைக்கு வந்து today players like Sundaram Auto Components or Bosch or Brembo, all of these guys want to work with us. இதே நாங்கள் 2 வருஷத்துக்கு முன்னாடி கேட்கும்போது நீ யாருடா, why will I supply to you, how many bikes will you be able to sell அப்படின்னு கேட்டிருக்காங்க. So that narrative I think is the biggest difference. Once that's flipped, then everybody is going to come supporting.
Thank you, sir. Thanks. Now we will go to Mr. Vijay. Probably, as you know, once again, the same, probably in a different plane you are going to talk about it. How to make the die casting a sustainability way of working. So probably he is well experienced with a lot of education. Probably already he is experienced with more than how many years you are there in die casting? In Bangalore.
In
with
Bangalore.
your father.
Yeah, 2004.
2004 probably. I think probably you will be giving a very good thought processes to the young entrepreneurs, those who are already there. Thank you, sir. Please talk about that sustainability.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Good morning or good afternoon, everybody. I would like to touch upon some things that the other panel members talked about here, and then carry on the sustainability topic into that. So Govindarajan said that aluminium is a metal of the future, or it's already been there, and it's highly regarded metal for the future. Then Karthikeyan sir said how we have to, based on what he said, there's a big potential for the aluminum industry, and we have that. When we have the potential, then the next thing is how do we scale up the businesses that are around the aluminum industry and manage them at scale and be profitable, is what he was talking about, wherein he said administrative topics have to be focused on. Then came Dinesh, where he said, okay, there are a lot of options available to flip the narrative. And the key point I grasped from what Dinesh was saying is, historically, the community that you see in front of you, Dinesh, has been very conservative. So, I mean, he has never said what he does, right? As in, marketed in a way that you flip the narrative. Yeah, so, exactly, and this entire community has been that way. They've all been...
it's very true to Tamil culture and Chennai culture also, I think. I don't think it's just this. I think as South Indians, we are
as South Indians, yes, yeah. I mean, I would not say the same about North Indian people, but yes, of course, yeah. So when we have this entire ecosystem, people in the ecosystem having that grounded, conservative approach, very difficult to flip the narrative until new people start coming in. And taking from that cue, I'm going to talk about what I'm going to talk about. So Dolphin Die Cast historically has been an automotive company till 2000. We were 100% auto company, 100% supplier to automotive companies. Only 2 customers, Bosch and TVS. 2000, we did a strategic decision to move out of automotive for the same reasons that he mentioned, EBITDA. So, I mean, I don't think, I'm not sure how many people in this forum put EBITDA in their mission and vision statement. Again, the narrative. So when a customer comes to my office, I give a presentation, I put up in mission and my vision statement that EBITDA is very key for me. Without I'm not going to work. Again, the narrative. If you're working with me, unless I get these margins, I'm not going to be able to supply to you. One aspect of it. So I'm just trying to tie all of this together. And in order to be competitive and have EBITDA and move out of the automotive business, we went into a niche market in die casting where we call it short-run die casting. There's also the research I did in Ohio State. We specialize to supply to non-automotive customers in batch quantities of 500 or more, 500,000, even 200 also we do. And today, any given month, we have around 600 different part numbers that we supply. We have 6 die casting machines going through 160 die changes per month. We have a machine shop, 13 machines setting changes of 300 per month. So this is the ecosystem I work in. And I'm still competitive, I make my EBITDA, and I've changed the narrative. I have not followed the traditional auto business kind of narrative, and I've moved on. And with that is when Mr. Govindarajan was saying the 60% plus export exposure that we have is all after 2000, when we flipped to go to non-automotive. In this journey, I've been fortunate to be associated with a lot of MNCs, and that is the reason sustainability became a big topic for us, even before people started talking about in the last 2-3 years. Our sustainability journey started in 2016. We got our 14001 certification in 2016. That is almost 10 years ago, when a lot of people were just trying to think about it. Again, the narrative was too expensive. ISO 9000, I mean, what else do you want to supply to these people? A customer of mine told me, don't look at sustainability as a cost. Look at sustainability as an opportunity to be competitive. That one sentence from my customer really got me thinking. He told me this in 2014. I pondered over it for 2 years, and then I got my 14001 certification in 2016. We have never looked back since then. And the icing on the cake was the silver medal that we got from EcoVadis. It's a European-based sustainability assessment company that assesses sustainable practices in manufacturing industries all over the world. And when we got the silver medal, this was in 2021, it was an icing on the cake of all the efforts that we had put in to do that. So in the sustainability topic, we look at 2 different verticals. One is sustainability as a product, die casting product, sustainability for the die casting process. So when I look at products, for example, OEMs, the biggest challenge has been for us to convince our customers that weight reduction is a priority topic. So even before we were doing sustainability topics, the inspiration was Mr. Kunjabaram sir, Mr. Dalan sir, who are all pioneers in die casting, and they were already talking about lightweighting and all of those things. The customer was not very friendly to those topics those days. Maybe the experience with you also. Even today, factor of safety in applications, I'm sure you are very close to that. Like you said, those days to now, the tools available to have accurate factor of safeties and also to know where to apply safety critical parameters or safety critical features can have high factor of safety or more cushioning in factor of safety. The other features can be very, very close to what you need. And when you start applying these principles, the weight or lightweighting capability in any product design is easily up to 30%. Now he was saying in 100%, for 100 rupees, 60 rupees is coming from raw material cost. And in that 60 rupees, if you're able to slash 30% just by lightweighting, talking to the experts in the field that we all are, that's a big benefit for the OEM as well as a big benefit to the entire sustainable journey of the globe. So that is one thing that we practice in a company. Any product comes, the first thing that we do is there opportunity to lightweight what they want? There have been countless examples. We supply to furniture companies. We have lightweighted one project, reduced it by 38% in terms of weight reduction. For flow meter parts, we have reduced in one project of 10 different sizes, about 46% in weight reduction. So imagine the amount of cost savings that translated to them. So when we are able to give this service to the customer, like he was saying, there's no harm in going and saying, I have a problem, I need a cost increase. They will very easily understand the narrative because they know that you are there to support them, you know how to optimize their cost, you're going to be able to manage their costs with your practices and expertise. So one big aspect that I keep telling all my colleagues and my customers also, focus on lightweighting. That's the key thing that is going to be a differentiator. I think he wants to chip in there.
Yeah, I want to tell on 2 points. 2 points you touched.
Yes.
One is this sustainability.
Yeah.
In fact, IP rings where I was heading, we got the ISO 14000 in 2004. So we are the pioneers even in our group also. So I was telling my colleagues, he's here also. When we started, we used to think, I was not thinking, there is a cost involved in this. But within a year, we understood it pays back enormously because you start looking at everything like that. You are saying about raw material, not only raw material, consumables,
yes.
consumables, then productivity. Even productivity is paying back. So like that, everything it has paid back, and washers also helps.
Absolutely.
Even in washers, that is for the employee's benefit. You avoid an accident for him, whether in-house or even in his house or in the road. It will help you because the one skilled fellow doesn't come for 1 month. You lose. You will be employ some fellow who will be untrained. You will produce some scrap extra. All this will happen. So this is, I agree with you. Second point I want to ask you is the controversial point. You told about you went out of automobile and you got into other industries. That's good. But in auto industry, our big gurus are there. You know, Lee, all these people, no? What they taught, no? You accept the price, what the customer gives. Whether EBITDA is -1 also, you accept it and try to do it. So you said all our people, no? We all agreed to that because somebody, why not we do? So that is the competitive nature we have taken. So you people have just left the auto industry and gone to other industry where it is possible to do. It's a food for thought, for discussion also.
Absolutely, absolutely, yes. I always say...
I want to talk about it. So ultimate we should be, commercial is also has to be viable. Then only the business is the real... So he has gone to the safety zone, what I am saying that. You have gone to the, other than an automobile, it's a safety zone.
Yes.
So we are in unsafe conditions.
Highly
Automobile is unsafe conditions.
Not unsafe, you cannot say that. Highly competitive field. Very high, very high.
Okay, highly competitive in the sense we are in the unsafe one commercial side. He is gone to the very safe mode and also his trust is very, appreciated. He is presenting his EBITDA in front of the customers. This is what I want. There, even today morning also we discussed with the Bagul, I think. So he also told why you are doing shattering. No? You told me one word. Social service. So it's a right word. What he is saying. Today morning also we discussed about it. Everywhere, every entrepreneur will have this problem. Today also just we had one word. He told why you are doing the social service. So you gone to the safety zone, which I am congratulating them and getting up. And one more thing, what I am saying that the point what I want highlighted, putting the EBITDA of your requirement, either it is in terms of EBITDA or some other what. So putting in front of the customer, this is my zone. Whether can you do this? I think not only Mr. Sivalingam, one more guy is also doing like that. This is my margin, this is my presentation, this is my cost. Probably. Even Craftsman, Alpha Craft, Mr. Ramesh.
I don't know, sir.
Alpha Craft, Mr. Ramesh, he is defined everything in costing. So this is my basic costing. Probably he is also a little away from the automobile for information. He is also started in a different way.
Sir, but my customers, whatever you present, they will say, most of the buyers know, I have another fellow who is ready to supply.
He also knows that. He also knows that other people are there.
Sir,
he also know that.
That's all they will say. Your EBITDA, they will not see.
No. That is the reason we have to be as far as Dinesh is. We have to find a market gap and then go and hit that market.
Correct, I understand.
And then he can get the price that he wants.
But we have caught the tiger's tail, no? We can't leave it also. Because our bosses don't allow also.
He is an entrepreneur, you are an employee. So there's a lot of difference is there. But what I am saying, he has gone to the safe zone and putting your requirement in front of the customer. That is the guts. What we don't have that much of guts, especially we'll have to train the people. Then politely we can say, this is my requirement, this is my surveyor.
See, actually,
so that presentation has to come from the entrepreneurs in front of the customer. That's what my thing.
Actually, in auto components, the change of design or reduce of material weight and all that, it will take time. So customer will not agree on any changes on that because the process is very high. So they are not changing these kind of things.
So this is only possible in non-automatic.
Yeah, so that only
automobile, there is a restriction is that we cannot even touch anything on that.
So that is the narrative. That is the narrative that you have to change. Is what I'm trying.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Is the narrative what
Arjun wants to talk about.
Yeah, what this narrative is set by for the non-automotive things, we have to set for the automotive also. The thing is, in the research and development, along with the customer, it has to be happened. That forum is not there. Now I am working with brother machine builders, with to minimize lot of things on aluminum things. I am stepping in and doing some research on with him. Okay, like that, the same way we have to go along with the customer and go with them and do some research with along with them, and then we have to do that.
Yes,
We have to start somewhere. No, that narrative already is. This example is there. You have to go forward.
But anyway, entering into the product itself, so that with a future product, you are entering earlier, and then doing it, and then taking the cost benefits for both, and then bringing that what you are talking about, the EBITDA. That is coming in. You want to talk? Arjun wants to talk about something.
No, I think sir kind of answered the point that I was going to say, but sir சொன்ன மாதிரி I think things have changed significantly, sir. The Volkswagen Polo was launched in India in 2005. We are sitting in 2026. It's the same exact car. 20 வருஷமா ஒரே வண்டி வித்திருக்காங்க. Volkswagen sells anything between 800 to 1500 cars a month. They're one of the smallest manufacturers, at least in India. அதே Hyundai நம்ம எண்ட் ஆஃப் சீசன் சேல் லைஃப் ஸ்டைலில் போடுவாங்க இல்லைங்களா, அதே மாதிரி வருஷம் எண்ட் ஆஃப் சீசன் சேல் போட்டு வருஷம் ஒரு சேம் 2025 Varna is significantly different from 2026 Varna, 2027 Varna will be an upgrade. So I think product life cycle is also changing. I am no one to speak because நான் ஒரு வண்டியை 8 வருஷமாக பண்ணிட்டு இருக்கேன், so I'm not in this. but I think that way we also need to kind of really evolve. 20 வருஷம் இருந்த product life cycle இன்னைக்கு ஒரு வருஷம் இருக்கு, which means lightweighting and changing and how we are ready for part changes also needs to be very, very high. Like again, the sir mentioned a couple of our suppliers. I mean, we work with Alpha Craft, we work with Insat. Everybody is today is open to changes also. நாங்க ப்ரொடக்ஷன் போகிறதுக்கு முன்னாடி 10 சேஞ்ச் பண்ணுவோம், சார் வந்து சரிக்காமல் பண்ணுப்பா கரெக்டு தான் அப்படின்னு சொல்கிறேன். ஸோ ஐ திங்க் மார்க்கெட் இஸ் ஆல்சோ எவால்விங், we are also catching up, but we need to be a lot more agile to be part of that.
Yes, okay. So I was talking about two verticals. One was the product design vertical of sustainability. That's what we discussed so far. The next is what he was talking about, the process side of sustainability. So when we look at the process side, energy consumption, any die casting industry, not only high pressure die casting, any die casting industry, energy consumption is a very big topic. So everybody says we consume a lot of energy, which is okay, but how many of us measure the consumption of energy every minute, every hour, every day, every month? If I can hand a show of hands on the audience, how many companies or how many people look at their energy consumption on a minute by minute basis?
No, I don't think so. The facilitation thinking probably we can take about it, whether they have got an intention to do that. That is the stage today. That is the stage
so
today.
That is the, okay.
One more thing, what I am saying, very interesting, what you hourly minute to do. Everyday P&L.
Yeah, correct, yes, yeah.
I think I came to know that everyday P&L will be displayed. So like that energy, what he is talking about, every minute he is talking about it. Probably the facilitation has to make, but start measuring, probably you are coming to the improvement. Start measuring anything.
Exactly. My intention was to only present that to start. Once
you start measuring, yes, there is a way of going for an improvement or cost reduction, whatever you say, whatever that is possible.
So,
okay, please carry on.
Yes.
There are some companies monitor, measure the energy, but they don't do analysis.
Exactly. So that's
Sir, you start doing it, the data has to come to you, automatically your mind will go into that.
Sir,
The measurement itself is a problem in today in foundry, what I am saying
that is what I wanted to highlight.
That facilitation people
Exactly.
should think that.
Yes.
Even my experience, what I recently started on die casting, I put everywhere.
In any foundry, whether it is iron or steel or aluminum maybe, the power is one of the major KPI.
Yes.
Measured on every melt and every day, every kg, how much consumption of how many units we are consuming per kg of casting or per ton of casting and per melt. It is a mandate because it's a very huge cost when you consider the total cost breakup.
Exactly. Yeah.
We used to do, we measure every melt, every ton of liquid metal, how much power we are consuming, what is the absolute power, what is the mean power. Okay. So we have kept the benchmark. We are one of the best in the industry benchmark. Okay, we are producing the.
What is the per kg per metric ton? How much you are doing?
Yeah, our power consumption of per metric ton liquid metal is 510 units. Per ton of full casting, it's 910 units.
Full casting 910. That is okay.
900? What is aluminum industry?
See, normally aluminum industries per kg, if you are only for casting, it will be around 15 to 18 rupees. Now it's coming on our average cost on this. For fully machined and all that, it goes up to 30 to 33 rupees on per kg if you are melting on our cost. But overall, things whatever the customer giving is only 75 to 100 rupees per kg. If you are seeing that, then the importance of the power is more important on this. This is only around 35% we are spending on the energy cost.
Yes, that was the point.
What is your experience with it?
Same, similar to what he is saying. That's actually we are much lower than that, but
Okay,
yeah.
then please carry on.
Yeah.
Also, the consumption has to be bifurcated in a different department. Say, for example, production and service and other departments. We have to bifurcate every department wise.
Vijay, I think.
Yeah.
You are staying on the cost on a 1 rupee of your expenses. What is your the expenses of power? You say 35%.
No, on the value addition. Value addition portion of it. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I'm good. The audience is being engaged. They're not sleeping yet. Okay.
That's after lunch.
It's a challenging decision.
Yeah.
After lunch.
So, going back to the discussion of what he was saying, when you start measuring something, the probability of taking action is much higher. Of course, like he said, you measure and do nothing also is there. That is the reason I brought about ISO 14001 as a topic. The reason is, okay, you can supply quality products without ISO 9001 also. But ISO 9001 gives you a framework in which you can engage your employees to do the job instead of him doing it or me doing it at an organization level. So when you start implementing 14001, then it becomes the organization stakeholders, everybody involved, both outside and inside the company, to be part of that process. And that is when, once you measure, monitor, actions will be taken care of the people involved in that, in the corresponding departments. And like you said, we have separate divisions for die casting. There's a separate KPI, for machining separate KPI, powder coating separate KPI, and all of that. This is from a consumption standpoint. You monitor, measure, take actions, and all of that. To just give you an example, unless you do this, we found in our company, as a live example, I'm saying, since we are in a different kind of segment than the typical automotive segment, we do not have any centralized melting furnaces. So all our furnaces are cell based. So each machine has 1 or 2 furnaces within the cell. No, crucible type. And also all electric. So my company is all electric. We don't have any LPG, gas or anything for any of the processes. So they're all inbuilt, cell-based furnaces within the cell. And I forgot the point I was going to mention actually. Yeah, okay. So the
cell concept, what it's unnecessary power losses and unnecessary things will be definitely improved. But as a process, some auto component, we cannot take a risk on that. The non-auto component, non-safety component, that we can take a process of within the cell we can do that, because that definitely will save near about 15 to 20% of the power cost on this. If you are running into a common and centralized unit and centralized compressor, centralized that will definitely will spoil our EBITDA on 3%. I worked at many options on that. That definitely it hits 3%. You cannot believe that. So the basic thing is, for the product you have to choose the line, what we are going to do that. For non-auto component, we can choose like this kind of setup on this. For auto component, we don't have any choice, because the customer driven process is given to us. Then we cannot do much changes on this. So that narrative that previously we told, some narrative you have to start with the customer, that this is what we can do, that we will ensure our quality on at the end of the product. That if you are giving confidence to that, then this will be.
Dinesh, I guess you have been very inspiring today. Everybody's talking about changing narrative.
That's most important. Where we are thinking.
Yeah. So what I was actually mentioning was, when we have the cell concept, and we have, like I said, we go through so many multiple die changes in each cell, right? What we found was, in a particular cell, we were making light components and also heavy components. But no matter what the component, the same furnace was being used. So why I'm saying this is, the per hour requirement of molten material varies from one casting to another casting, and you need to optimize this. So you need to put all the heavy or the similar short weight parts in one machine cell, the other ones in the other cell. And when we did this optimization, it reduced my power consumption by 20% directly. Number one. Secondly, you need to redesign your furnace capacities based on the short weight that actually is getting, or the total melt weight required per hour, depending on the cycle time of the part and also the short weight of the part. So unless you do this optimization, it's very difficult to manage electrical power consumption. When we talk about machine power consumption, but today there's servo motor machines or servo driven machines that take care of that for the most aspect. But furnace design is a thing that is mostly not looked into on a very deep level, and we have been able to do that. And by that, what we did was, 6 years ago, all our furnaces were either 300 kg furnaces, 400 kg furnaces, 500 kg furnaces across the board. But my requirement in some machines were, I was only taking 60 kgs per hour. But it was still holding 240 kgs per hour, and I'm using power to hold 240 kgs for doing nothing. The typical benchmark is that you use minimally between 35 to 50% of molten metal every hour, keep in circulation, so the holding portion is very less, and your holding power consumption is very less. So this amount of details and action plans would not come out if I am looking at it. The people in the shop floor have to get involved, and for them, if you give the metrics for them to look at and measure, the actions will come out automatically. So that was the point I was trying to address, some of the points that the audience was saying. So this was only in terms of consumption of power. Now electricity charges is something that is not in my control. So okay, I reduce my power consumption, but my electricity expense in my balance sheet is not completely my control, even the consumption is reduced.
You have some control. See, nowadays, no. Instead of buying from TNEB, you can buy from captive generations.
Instead of that, you put your own captive generation plant.
No, if you don't have money, I will not.
I know, but I'm getting to that. So, Dolphin Die Cast is a company that runs all of its plants using 100% green energy. We're very proud of that. the 100% green energy plant. Out of that, 85% comes from our own captive generated solar plants. We have 3 plants, one on the rooftop, 2 ground-based plants, total approximately 2 megawatts, and it consumes around, we use up around 85% of that. And for the balance, we use IREX certificates, and our scope 2 emissions is absolutely zero.
Actually, from ISO and 14,001, now the ESG will give the answer for this, all the things on what we are spending on the energies. And up to our transport, it will give the reduction on this. If we are going with the ESG requirement on this, if I may write, 1 ton melting, 1 ton at least we are producing the carbon footprint on this. So it may be like that. I give 1 ton to 1 ton. For the primary, it will be a 14-15 tons we are generating. 14 tons we are manufacturing on carbon. So the carbon requirement on this nowadays, all the export people are putting pressure on this. Even our OEMs are putting pressure on this. We have to implement on this. That definitely it will give a benefit to us, at least a 20% of energy cost and other things on this. Anyhow, if we are doing it on export, that tax will be higher on ESC if we are producing more on this.
Sir, Vijay, one small thing. You will give some 5 to 10 minutes to the people.
Sure, sir.
So let them get clarified whatever they got doubts.
Sure, sir, sure.
The time is also getting...
okay, sure.
Any questions from audience to panelists?
On the melt ratio, you told if my consumption is 80 kgs per hour, for example, what might be my furnace capacity?
35 to 50% is what you need to be able to. So make it 3 times that.
Or 3 times of our consumption.
Yes.
Okay, fine. Thank you.
Yeah, 2.5 to 3 times. Yeah.
2.5 should be.
Yes.
2.5 will be good.
Any other questions?
That is based on your risk appetite. Yeah. Yes, yeah. To whom, sir?
It's very heartening to hear from Govindarajan sir that the industry is picking up in spite of the rising cost. And I was also, after a long time in a CEO's meet, it's happy to see that Karthikeyan sir say that in spite of reducing his workforce from 600 to 400, he's still able to get the morale of the people high. And I would like to know how you keep up the morale and how do you look into the skill development. See, I'm not into die casting, I'm into service providing for die casting. We are into non-destructive testing services. But the skilling and manpower has always been a pertinent issue in wherever we go. But it's good that you have addressed it. I'd like to know how you do that.
See, if you are seeing all the employees list, you can identify that who is doing duplicate work. First, what are all the things duplicate work we are doing? Next step, who are the blaming culture people? And who are all the pushing the ball to the other people? You have to identify this. These 3 you have to eliminate first. Whatever you are given the responsibility, if he completed, you know that their capability and what you are required on this role he wanted. If he finish at 4 hours, then we have to keep it free. We need not put another pressure to him. The thing is, what you need if he is agreed and he has achieved it, then it is a stress-free operation what we can do. That's what I told. No, the thing is only 4 to 5 hours maximum is the work what we have, including CEO, including all from the housekeeping up to upkeeping. So how to capitalize their work with a shorter time? That is enough for that. If you are doing that, there is no blaming culture, there is no pushing the ball. Any meeting in a company, not more than 15 minutes. Then what it means? You have to come with all the data and you have to sit for the meeting only for the solution. So if traditionally what it's happening, after assembled all the things, one man will start. Yesterday that machine was breakdown. He didn't tell me. He has to tell me, no. This kind of things it will across the companies. So the only thing is we have to identify the such a people that they will do their work and they will complete within a span of 6 hours. Then we have to give the freedom for them for 3 hours. That approach will definitely change your culture of the company. Yeah.
Are there any management side questions? Since people are available, youngsters are available to answer. Yes, please.
ஸோ அப்படியே ஒன் பை ஒன்னாக வந்துடுறேன். ஃபஸ்ட்டு வந்து லைட் வெயிட் சொல்லியிருந்தீங்க இல்லையா, வெயிட் வந்து டிடக்ஷன் பண்ணிட்டு இப்போ மார்க்கெட்டில் வந்து நெக்ஸ்ட்டு வந்து ஒரு 5 to 10 இயர்ஸ்க்கு அப்புறம் மெக்னீஷியம் கேஸ்டிங் வந்து இன்க்ரீஸ் ஆக போகுது. மார்க்கெட்டில் அலுமினியம் கேஸ்டிங் வந்து எக்ஸிஸ்ட் ஆயிரும் சூன். ஒரு மெக்னீஷியம் வந்து உள்ளே வரப்போகுது. ஏன்னா லைட் வெயிட் ஃபஸ்ட்டு, செகண்ட் அதோட காஸ்ட் வந்து இன்னும் மார்க்கெட்டுக்காக டெரைவ் ஆகலை. அலுமினியத்தை விட மெக்னீஷியம் வந்து இன்னும் கம்மியான லெவலில் தான் இருக்குது. ஸோ இதை பற்றி நெக்ஸ்ட்டு எப்படி இருக்கும் மார்க்கெட், ஒரு கொஸ்டின். செகண்டு சார் வந்து அட்மினிஸ்ட்ரேஷன் சொன்னீங்க இல்லையா, நீங்கள் ஒரு லெவலில் வந்து ஒரு செட்டப் கம்பெனிக்கு வந்துட்டீங்க.
1 minute. First question let him answer, Vijay. He is asking from you. Please.
I think aluminum and magnesium discussion has been going on for a long time. It's been going on since the time I was...
So many Chinese companies that developed, sir. So many Chinese
sir,
companies that developed.
When I was in USA in 1997 itself, I was working for a company that did magnesium die casting in those days. And they had a separate magnesium die casting plant itself in those days. So we are like, what, 30 years from that time I'm talking about, right? So, but if you see the journey of magnesium in casting, the scalability is not there. 30 years it has not happened. It may pick up in the future, it may not. But the scalability of magnesium die casting has always been questionable because of its difficult to handle magnesium situations. So unless there is...
I will add something.
Yeah.
See, any new process, it has to come finally with the affordability. Otherwise it will not succeed. Even carbon fiber is there. Carbon fiber is an alternative to steel for going to NASA, everybody is using. That industries have no budget constraint at all, which is going to moon or whatever it is. They are using. But still it has not come to many of the things because the cost of manufacturing is very high. So somebody has a breakthrough in that, then it will come. Like what I said in aluminum also, one engineer had a breakthrough 100 years back. That is why it became a very cheaper. If it was costly, it would have been costlier than gold. So the manufacturability, somebody has to find out a methodology by which easier to manufacture without any safety problem.
But the good thing is, because he mentioned carbon fiber, I'm mentioning that there are also institutes that are doing research to negate that equation with magnesium. They're actually starting to use carbon fibers nanostructures in aluminum to negate that gap. So that's also there. So Aluminum University is not going to sit quiet. So they're also going to do some stuff to manage the magnesium threat. But I don't think it's a big threat as of now. And it could have to be in the future, but right now it has. I mean, 30 years it has not happened at a scale that we expected to happen. So I don't think it's going to happen in the near future.
One more thing is going to happen is this nanotechnology. Nanotechnology, everything becoming minute and all. I think Dr. Ajay is there. He will make a presentation today. He is from IIT Tripoli. So nanomaterials will make a big change. So nanomaterials will replace even a best material, some other material will come inside. Because when you go to the nano size, many things is possible. So they are trying to change the structure, the strength, all these things is going to change.
Thank you. The second question, you please.
Sir, second question.
To Mr. Karthikeyan.
ப்ரைஸ் வந்து நீங்கள் வந்து கஸ்டமர் வந்து கொடுக்குறாங்கன்னு சொன்னீங்க இல்லையா, ஒரு 60% வந்து ஆஃபர் பண்ணுறாங்க அப்படின்னு சொன்னீங்க இல்லையா. ஒரு கஸ்டமரை நம்ம டிபெண்ட் பண்ணி இருக்கும்போது அந்த கஸ்டமரை நம்பி தான் நம்ம பண்ணுவோம். ஓல்டு பிஸ்னஸும் அவங்கள நம்பி இருக்கும்போது நம்ம அந்த டைமில் எந்த ப்ரைஸும் வந்து கேட்க முடியாது. அப்படிங்கிறப்போ நம்ம எப்படி அதை மேனேஜ் பண்ணணும்?
ஆக்சுவலி இன்னைக்கு பிஸ்னஸ் வந்து ஒருத்தரை நம்பி இருந்து ஒர்க் பண்ணுறது வந்து நாட் ஃபேர் ஆல்சோ. சி த திங் இஸ் வி ஹவ் இன்வெஸ்டட் சம் மணி, நாட் ஃபார் we are not running a charity for one person. Okay, we are invested money for a purpose of business. Then if you are depending on one person, then it is obviously they will also dictate you. See, risky, and also they will also dictate you. See, I will close your things, I will give to some. Then it is a more risk you are taking. Then see, you may be a subcontractor to them, but you should do only for the labor work. We can do that with the increased whatever the standard 1 year, the increase of power and increase of that agreement you have to put it on them. So that is the only option. One customer is here not at all acceptable in business. More risk.
Anybody else?
Also, you should adopt the surcharge systems. Whenever the material or power increases, you have to charge to the customer. You have to offset the cost.
Okay, any third question, sir? But one thing I am telling that you please start knocking the door to the customers. Knocking, and put it in the document. You will believe that. One thing I will give one example. Suppose your company is in Japan with one source, one supply. Today there is no problem for you. The culture of industry, I am not talking about the culture of India or something. Culture of industry in Japan is something different. Even in India, it was collapsed. Even the Indian culture, they came to India, but given to Indians, and they collapsed. So, one supplier, one goods is a very good process. The skill is also developed and not scattered, and focusing will be there. The problem is, whatever the adults are coming, the customer has to take care of. Then things will be normal. So, we are in a different scenario. So, that is why he is advising. Okay, anyway, you please start knocking the customer door. That is only answer what you can do, the panel can give that. Next, please.
If you are working with one customer, then your costing system should be open. You should declare everything. This is my raw material, this is my consumable, this is my profit. Then it will be sustainable.
Yeah. I have a question to Mr. Dinesh. When you are changing from IC engines to electrical engine, you have to make it light. Otherwise, your vehicle efficiency will go down. How are you doing that? What are all the things you are improving on? That is one question. And secondly, after electric, there is hydrogen technology is coming up. How the industry is looking at it?
Sir, I think castings and metals, I think a lot of people here already understand. From a lightweighting point of view, there are multiple things that we're doing across the board, right? One, again, by virtue of us being a startup and not being able to spend a lot of money, we go through a very long cycle even before a component is, prototyped. Right, before we even make one prototype, we go through the difference between a company like us and a legacy company is அவங்களுக்கு ஆல்ரெடி இப்படி தான் ப்ராசஸ் பண்ணணும், இப்படி ஒரு ப்ராடக்ட் டெவலப் பண்ணணும்னா இப்படி தான் ப்ராசஸ் பண்ணி டிஃபைன் பண்ணியிருப்பாங்க. எங்களுக்கு வந்து எப்படி வண்டி பண்ணணும்னே தெரியாது. ஸோ நாங்கள் வந்து எங்களுக்கு எப்படி பண்ணணும்னே தெரியாதுன்னா எப்படி வேணால் பண்ணலாம். ஸோ அந்த பாயிண்ட் ஆஃப் வியூல தான் பண்ணிட்டு. ஸோ ஃபார் அஸ் எவ்ரிதிங் இஸ் டிஜிட்டல் நேட்டிவ். பீப்புள் டாக் அபவுட் டிஜிட்டல் டிரான்ஸ்ஃபர்மேஷன், தே வில் ஹேவ் ஒன் டீம் டு. எங்களுக்கு டிஜிட்டல் மட்டும் தான் தெரியும், வேற எதுவும் தெரியாது. நார்மலாக எப்படி டிசைன் பண்ணுவோம், ஒரு ஸ்கெட்ச் போட்டு வண்டி டெவலப் பண்ண தெரியாது. ஸோ வாட் வி டிட் இஸ் largely every component went through a series of simulations. Second, again, back in 2021, we got close to about 25 odd crores worth of software tools. Every software tool in the world, we got free licenses for 4 years from state government, central government, from US grants and all. So we kind of did that entire stretch of making all of those components and iterating designs before we even went into prototyping, and then we tooled up. So that's on the metal side. On the other side, one of the bigger areas of weight comes from, especially in vehicles, comes from not batteries obviously you can't avoid, but also amount of copper that you use, amount of, because current conductors, right? Somebody asked me, how did you guys use I spoke about scooters, motorcycles. The difference that we are doing is everybody runs on 48 volt systems. We operate on 240 volt DC. When we go 5x in terms of voltage, the amount of current that goes into each conductor Battery motor, each conductor, every bus bar, every wire, every cable reduces significantly. Let's say again 5x, minimum 5x it reduces. When you are 5x reduction in current, all your cables can be a lot thinner, all your bus bars can be a lot thinner. Your thermal material required itself, because H is equal to I square Rx, right? So which means your thermals are reducing by 25x, 5x lesser current, 25x. I mean oversimplification, but that's not fundamentally it. So lack of cooling systems, then in passive cooling systems are more enough. We actually are moving towards removing fans in every subsystem. Liquid cooling illa, fan illa. So on the level copper comes down. So that is how we are looking at reducing weight beyond metals. Obviously metals, light weighting, different alloys are there. This even we were fighting about magnesium and aluminum, and it just makes sense today that the supply chain and everything is a lot more stable for aluminum. It doesn't make the incremental difference that magnesium brings in. At least I am not convinced yet, but possibly later. Second question was, sir, sorry. Okay. Sir, hydrogen fundamentally is volumetric capacity or volumetric energy density is very, very little, right? 1 liter hydrogen is a lot more powerful than 1 liter of petrol, but this entire hall will occupy actually less than 1 liter of hydrogen, if I think, right? Like, so if you wanna, so that's how energy, that's how big hydrogen is. So you volume a container you have to compress it beyond a certain amount of and then store it. The problem now is the aluminum atom itself is so small that whatever container you put it in, even if it's a completely sealed welded metal container, it will find a way to escape. So storing hydrogen is storing hydrogen is very difficult. Storing hydrogen at that pressure is also very difficult. So it's very, very complicated. Let's say in the concept of a two-wheeler, if I store it at 1 bar, hypothetically if I store it at 1 bar, or fuel tank capacity la irukra or hydrogen cylinder la na vandu or 6 km kuda pova mudiyadhu. If I store it at extremely high pressure, maybe push that number from half a kilometer to 25 kilometers, not go beyond that. So hydrogen is not very realistic for passenger applications, not today. Idu vandu evolve agumana, physics is the ultimate truth. You cannot change physics, right? You can improve on physical boundary. Inga physics boundary inga irukna, inga irukko, inga irundhu inga ponala polam. Physics boundary inga da irukna, avladha mudiyum. So hydrogen theoretically itself will not make sense for passenger vehicles. I can write and give, because when I was working in the US, we had something called even in, I think in India, the Mirais are there, the Toyota Mirai is there, we had the Honda Insight. The cars are so heavy. Electric car is 100 ton, hydrogen car will be 3 ton, because on the canister is so heavy that 200 horsepower motor putting na kuda vandi navaradu. It just doesn't make sense. Maybe it might make sense for commercial vehicles, but if you ask me, I don't think hydrogen has any future in transportation. That's I want to add that also.
For commercial only, the hydrogen will work out, and the energy whatever we want to spend it for heat and other for the centralized things only, it will work on that. Not for bike or car. Car also it is okay, but it will not be in such a EV vehicle like that. It will not come.
Karthik, I have a different view. Anyway, hydrogen is not used in the gaseous form. It will be liquefied. Actually, it will be in a very small container is sufficient. The only problem now the world is facing is safety. Keeping it safe is very difficult. It is a hydrogen bomb, so we have to use it carefully. That is why people are going on thinking. Even today now in ICF, our ICF, they are creating a engine for hydrogen model. It can be stored in a liquid form, and it will gaseous, it will come and it will burn. It will burn like IC engine only. So it is possible. Only safety they are now worried.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. Let me ask you a question, please. One more. Mr. Vijay, Dinesh. You see, when you're thinking of designing an EV vehicle, which is a
which is a bike, right? You see, the youngsters have got a concept of buying the bikes for long distance travel, high ranges. Have you considered this option in your design?
The question is, can the bike do long distance travel?
Yeah, and your.
So in January, one of our guys took our motorcycle from Chennai to Calcutta to Delhi to Udaipur to Goa, Kanyakumari, back to Chennai. It was a 7,850 kilometer trip in one shot without begging anybody for chargers, without struggling at all, in a record time of 18 days, which is the same time it will take if you take a pedal board vehicle. கூட வந்து ஒரு தண்டர்போர்ட் போச்சு, அது 6 வாட்டி பிரேக் டவுன் ஆச்சு, 2 வாட்டி ஆயில் சேஞ்ச் பண்ணாங்க, இந்த வண்டிக்கு ஒரு பஞ்சர் கூட. So yeah, so I think we need to start thinking about electric vehicles, just like how we moved from steam engine to petrol engine. Electric vehicle is an evolution. We are not doing it for, sir, எந்த மார்க்கெட்டிங்லயுமே வந்து total cost of ownership or environmental friendliness பேசவே மாட்டோம். That is besides the point. Nobody wants to open their wallet for environmental friendliness, and India is definitely not a kitna deti hai market. Maybe it was before, definitely not now. So it's all about experience. That's what we do it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello. The audience, for the, I mean, more than, I think, 1.5 hours, I think we spent around nearly more than 1.5 hours. I hope that will be more beneficial to you, at least for hearing, at least awareness, what I can say. So with this, we want to conclude this panel discussion. And I want to once again thank you to Vijay and Karthikeyan and Dinesh and Mr. Govindarajan to share their experience and thoughts. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
Efforts in making this year's edition of our CEO meet a grand success. I think just from the interactions from the crowd, I can say confidently that we all enjoyed this session. So I now request you to felicitate all our CEOs with a carefully curated gifts from IIF for spending their valuable time in enriching our audience with their wisdom. Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you so much for your valuable time. That brings us to the end of the first half of the 16th Aluminium Conclave 2026.